Hello and welcome to Walker Tea Review. I'm Jason Walker with a spring green tea, ready to go. Chinese green tea, a tea that has become more and more better known especially in the U.S. and kind of in the West. But there's still a lot of conflicting or unknown information about this particular tea. Talk about that in just a moment, but I've scooped out enough to cover the bottom, say inch and a half diameter from my gaiwan here. It's about a 3-ounce gaiwan. Water's been brought to an early boil, started to rumble, not a full heavy rolling boil. So at this point it's probably 200 degrees or so, give or take 10 degrees. And I've added enough water so a little bit, actually just a splash more, a little bit should rest just above the rim of my lid when I put it on here, just like so. That's good. Let that steep for a while. Talk about this tea. This is from Peony Teas, a Singapore-based company. This is their Pre-Qing Dafo LongJing. Okay, you can get 50 grams for 30 Singapore dollars. So you want to check to see what the conversion rate is. This particular LongJing, this going back, LongJing traditionally hails from the West Lake area of Hangzhou. Sometimes it will get even more specific than that and talk about the Shifeng or the Lion's Peak or LongJing Village, or different names like that can be associated, so that it even gets more precise than just, say, the Westlake area. This one comes from Xinjiang, which is a village or community in Zhejiang province, which is further out from that traditional Westlake area. Now, having said that, there's the rumored understanding, and it's what it seems to be true, although I've never actually seen precise data, that says that there is more LongJing tea under the name of LongJing, than the actual LongJing villages or immediate proper area can produce. So that, along with the fact that there are different varietals used, some say that some varietals are more authentic than others. On the other hand, there are Chinese source books and source materials, research or tea scholars, who recognize the Dafo LongJing, the Xinjiang area, as a respected producer. So let me talk a little bit about this. This is the Wu Niuzao cultivar. Now, the Wu Niuzao cultivar is a cultivar that is often used for LongJing, and it often will mature earlier in the season than some of the traditional LongJing cultivars, which gives it an advantage. It comes to market earlier, and it can offer similar prices to some of the higher quality, or the more respected and more well-known or more traditional LongJing teas that are harvested when they come to the market at the same time. For example, especially that pre-Qing Ming time period, which is Qingming festival being April 5th. That having said all of that, we need to actually go ahead and talk about this tea. First off, a little bit about the smell here. The smells are the traditional kind of, often called nutty, anywhere from like a cashew type of nut, over to, some will go so far as to say, freshly cooked rice. If you have a rice cooker and down at the bottom, the rice gets a little nearly slightly burned, a little lightly scorched. Got that toasty smell to it. There's some of that in here. There's also a sweetness there, and it is a little bit lighter underneath, behind that toasty aspect, that nutty aspect. So you get a little bit of a sugar snap pea, sugar snap pea type of smell. That kind of fresh, light, sweet green vegetable going on. Let me scoop out a few of these. Looking at this, it would be a challenge to take this leaf at sight and say, oh, this is this or that cultivar, this is a more or less authentic LongJing. Different varietals can be planted in different locations. So you could have the Wuniozao cultivar, which this is, planted in a traditional destination or traditional origin type village of LongJing, and you could see lots of similarities. It would look just like this. It would have flat, pressed flat from being fired or fried in the wok. You would see this one's a comparison to others that I've seen. It's a nice, bright, intense green, vibrant color. Some of them with the heat, they get a little too hot. They get a little duller, almost a little yellow-brown, a little bit paler. So this one's brighter than a lot of those. Many of these, because they're pressed together, you can see looks like what appears to be more than one leaf. In some cases, a lot of cases look to be a leaf and a bud. So they're small. They're say an inch and a half at most. Yeah, I'm going to kind of stop there. Press, like I said, that traditional kind of grasshopper wing type shape. Looks good. Return that. Now let me get ready to pour this tea. I'm going to angle this over to the side a little bit. Again, I'm going to try to share some links below this video on the site there. That there are different viewpoints. Is the Dafo, is the Wuniozao, are they authentic? Are they not authentic? How much recognition, how much credence should be given to them? You can decide that for yourself. You can decide if the authenticity, the background story is important, how important it is for admiring or enjoying the final product here. Let me set that aside, actually. Don't want to get ahead of myself, but I want to smell this and look at these leaves for a moment. Now, the toasty notes are still coming out. It draws out a bit more of a kind of a cooked green bean over towards a bit of a cooked lima bean type of smell. Even still, compared to others, it's a lighter aroma. I mean, lighter as in fresher green type instead of a heavier overcooked type of smell. And this one got steeped for a pretty good duration. So still plenty of sweet aromas. Let me clear off the lid here and then pinch out a few leaves to look at. Here's one that was kind of sticking out to the side. Some will comment that if you know this is a Wuniozao cultivar, a characteristic of that is the darkened end, but the stem end, which I saw in this particular one leaf that I plucked out, this bud set. You can tell it was more than one. It's two leaf pair. Here is, let me gently peel that to see what's going on here. Yeah, a leaf, a bud with a leaf that was just about, I kind of teased it off there. The second leaf about to come off of the bud there. You could call that a leaf and a bud or two leaves and a bud. Let's see, there's a needle, a bud there type shape. Let's see. Yeah, most of these are, in many cases, a leaf and a bud, two leaves and a bud. That comment about the blackness on the end may not be your giveaway in all cases. There may be other varietals, or depending on how the plucking goes, as to whether that's always the case or whether you can just immediately look at something and say, oh, this is the Wuniozao cultivar. So having set that aside, getting to the liquor, giving that a swirl, and give it a smell here. Again, warm, rich, it smells brothy. It smells like this one's going to have some texture to it. It's got a bit of the toasty Again, kind of toasted rice, light kind of nut aroma, and a little bit of sweetness there. My nose is calling this like a sweet corn, if you boiled corn in water and you were to sip on some of the water there, you would have some of that kind of sweetness from the corn smell. Okay, bright. I should mention also, I guess in the picture here too, nice bright gold yellow type color. Yellow, almost a little bit green. Okay, same thing in the cup. It's less on that golden nutty type color, more towards the golden, slightly green type brightness there. Brothy, thick. Some of your Qingmings, paler, lighter, more delicate in its aroma, its flavors, and its textures. This one got a nice richness to it. Again, thicker, brothier, a bit of the toasty sweetness there. So you got a little bit of a kind of sweet, toasty nut. Again, a little bit of the underneath that, still those layers, a bit of the kind of sugar snap pea, the green sweetness there, that little bit of a hint of kind of boiled corn on the cob broth type sweetness there. So those are present. Compared to other LongJings, LongJings in general don't have as a category, don't have the longest aftertaste compared to other teas, Oolongs, for example. This one, still feel the texture on the top of my tongue, inside lower cheek, inside lower cheek there. Not a lot of resonating sweetness there. I can tell that there was a hint of something that was sweet that had been in my mouth, and it hasn't moved over towards just the regular, the regular normal taste in my mouth. So there's still a residue there. The broth and texture are probably the dominant component. They balance well with the aroma. The aroma's not and the flavors are not the most prominent, the most outstanding. But overall balances well. The aftertaste, again, not overly astringent, bitter either. The aftertaste, the duration of the texture and the aftertaste are quite good. Looking at this tea, talking about other LongJings, especially pre-Qing Ming, Ming Qian type LongJings, there's going to be lots of different characteristics. Like I said, some of them are more delicate and lighter. Some of them have this richer, brothier type aspect. Considering all that there can be out there, this one's quite good. I would give this one a 90. Again, good strong components. If you're looking for that more that fuller profile in your pre-Qing Ming LongJings. So again, the story, the background behind it is a consideration that you'll have to decide for yourself as to its significance to you and its impact on your enjoyment of this tea. So come back to Walker Tea Review to find out about the stories behind the teas and how you can appreciate the teas for what they are.